is Lara Leavitt, and I will be discussing a design methodology utilized in developing quality software products. Software defects discovered after a product release can impact the image of a company negatively. If customers are experiencing numerous issues when trying to use your product, they are likely to switch to another company's offering. How does a software development team proactively strive to obtain the highest quality of code so that they do not fall victim to this scenario? Research suggests that the best method to produce reliable working software is to use test-driven development, because it forces developers to think more about their code design up front, and it provides a foundation for maintainable development. First, I will explain how using a test-first approach results in developers thinking about their code design right off the bat. Next, I will discuss how following a test-driven development process provides a foundation for maintainable software development over time. To start, let's look at what test-driven development involves. Test-driven development, or TDD for short, is a design process involving an iterative development cycle. Developers create automated tests before a feature is implemented. The iterative development cycle in TDD is often referred to as the red-green refactor cycle. This visual aid, retrieved from the website meshbuilds.de, provides an overview of the workflow process of TDD. First, a developer will write a test that will soon fail because the feature code related to that test has not been implemented yet. This is known as the red state. Next, a developer will write just enough code to make sure that that test will pass. That is represented by the green state. At this stage, the developer will review the code to find areas that need improvement, refactoring the code as needed. This will repeat over and over iteratively, failing and passing tests until all the feature requirements are complete. Through this workflow, developers use a test-first approach. This forces them to think about their code design up front. This aspect of test-driven development leads to a greater understanding of the feature requirements. An article from 2005 by Ernest Morosino and Torchiano revealed that test-first developers achieve greater productivity because of improved understanding of the underlying requirements. This deeper understanding led to a reduction in task scope. Developers were more focused on primary functionality instead of unnecessary features. The time spent upfront considering the software requirements improves the internal code qualities, like complexity, as well. Jansen and Sadian performed a study to directly compare test-first teams to test-last teams. Their 2008 results summarized that test-first programmers are more likely to write software in more and smaller units that are less complex and more highly tested. Now that I have discussed some of the benefits of thinking about code design up front, let's move on to how following the test-driven development process provides a foundation for maintainable software development. Two difficult areas of maintaining a code base are making sure that previous functionality doesn't break and tracking down source of issues when bugs are discovered. Regression testing and debugging efforts are both reduced as test-first approach is implemented. As part of a controlled experiment conducted by Ernest Morosimo and Torchiano in 2005, the incremental nature of testing code first and refactoring as development proceeds was examined. They determined that frequent regression testing shortens the feedback cycle, so that small problems are detected before they become serious and costly. Through continuous refactoring, the tendency of product source to increase in complexity will significantly be reduced. Code improvements were observed in a long-term case study involving IBM development projects. Data from the IBM 2007 study by Sanchez, Williams, and Maximilian suggested that the sustained use of TDD may reduce the increase in complexity as software ages. Improving increasing developer productivity and reducing maintenance efforts are just two benefits software engineers should consider when thinking about incorporating test-driven development into their workflow process. TDD is a process to assist in the delivery of well-designed, maintainable software products. To summarize, using a test-first approach while developing software will result in a better understanding of the problems to be solved. This understanding will lead to a better designed solution, containing only the code necessary to meet requirements. As the code base grows over time, the automated testing generated by unit tests through this process will assist in maintaining the code base. The validation provided by tests can provide the developer continuous feedback on the status of the features, verifying that nothing is broken. As professionals in the software industry, we can implement test-driven development techniques to assist us in producing the highest quality software releases possible. Thank you for your time.